Welcome to the 2017 FORTitude Labor Day Salute. I'm Mike Landis.
And I'm Deborah Takahara from KWGN Channel 2 News. Congratulations on this fabulous run. It was amazing.
Give yourselves a hand.
On this Labor Day, we invite you to join us to honor first responders who serve the community of Fort Collins and the great state of Colorado.
Now please turn your attention to Ram Vision to learn more about today's tribute.
We'd like to thank you for joining us for the inaugural running of the FORTitude 10K and for joining us on this Labor Day.
We all know Labor Day and its significance. It's got more than a 125-year history of recognizing Labor Day, understanding that the American worker built this country.
So this is a time where we get to recognize the American worker, but specifically pay tribute or give a salute to first responders and those folks who are in public safety, who serve us in our police, fire, and EMS roles in all of our communities.
Considering 9/11 is so close, what's happening now in Houston with all the focus on these heroes and first responders. They serve us selflessly, and they don't get enough recognition. So we want to contribute to recognize these important people in our society.
Today we're honored to have you join us in our salute to first responders in recognition of their service to our communities in the public service and public safety ranks.
Today we have the Poudre Fire Authority Honor Guard, established in 1991, led by Commander Brian Hansen. Accompanying them is Dan Lowe. He's from Choice City Bagpipers. Now Dan is a wildland firefighter with the state of Colorado. He just returned from fighting a fire last night.
Please rise for the arrival of the Honor Guard and the presentation of the American flag. Our national anthem will be played by the Bronco Stampede Drumline, Denver's premier pregame performance ensemble since 2003. The Bronco Stampede is produced by Ascend Performing Arts with brass and percussion musicians from around Colorado.
Thank you, Broncos Stampede. Historically on Labor Day, our nation has paid tribute to the American worker. The celebration of Labor Day has expanded, also to become a celebration of community and family and friends with backyard barbecues and hometown parades, also the end of summer. Today, we recognize those who work diligently, often in harm's way, to keep our communities safe. In addition today, we remember those who lost their lives in the line of duty. We honor the first responders on our streets who rescue us when we need help, often confronted by danger, and they comfort us in the face of tragedy.
Today, we are honoring one very special group of first responders from the Poudre Fighter Valley Authority and Colorado Task Force 1. Please direct your attention to Ram Vision for their story.
Colorado Task Force 1 is part of a national response team. It's an urban search and rescue team that we started back in the early 90s.
We got sent out, I believe, a week and a half after the towers fell. They would show us prints of what the building looked like before and what it looks like now, so we have some sort of an idea of the voids, of where to look for people.
We responded out there and tried to help in any way we could. We were on the pile with the New York City firefighters, and you could feel the pain of the nation just by looking in their eyes. So it was really important for us to try to help carry some of that load for them.
I think one of the hardest things was walking from the Javits Center to the site every day. The people were hugging us, and on the fence you had pictures of people that were missing, and then going in and searching for them.
Definitely made me respect life and respect those who have given their life for others.
I was proud to go there with the team that we had and work alongside all the men and women of the task force, but it was horrible that it even had to happen.
The captain that I happened to work with, Ralph Kettle, we were sitting down talking, and he thought it'd be really cool if we could get a piece of World Trade Center steel. So he wrote a really good letter. I gave the letter to Brian Farrell, who was with the Terry Farrell Foundation. 2 years later, the chief got a call and said, "We have a piece of steel from the World Trade Center. Would you go get it?" I said, "Absolutely." He said that we couldn't use any public funds. We had went and talked to Dellenbach Chevrolet in Fort Collins, got a pickup. We got the trailer that it rides on, and we took off for New York.
Our trip back from New York turned out to be much more than we ever anticipated. We thought we were just going out to pick up a treasure from the World Trade Center, and this piece of steel was one of the last pieces that was given to anyone. So we felt really lucky that we got a piece of the steel, but I think the city should be honored that, you know, we've been chosen to present this and have it be part of our history from here on out.
Once we left New York City, we got an escort from the time we left till the time we arrived at Fort Collins. We were never without an escort.
Nobody got in our way, driving right to the city. It was great, right over the George Washington Bridge. It was fantastic. And I don't think we went under any overpasses where there weren't people cheering for us, American flags, ladder trucks, and all across the country.
See the patriotism throughout the United States as we crossed it there on I-80. It was humbling. It brought most of us, all of us, to tears at some point or another, seeing the people along the interstate.
We'd be on the road at 6 o'clock in the morning, which was 4 o'clock Fort Collins time. So Haley was up at 3 o'clock in the morning getting all this ready for us. And she was my communications person. She would call me inside the truck, and she'd say, Channel 9 with Chicago News would like to do an in-cab interview with you. So she would set all that up, and then they would call me. So she was our liaison to the rest of America.
We had a website that we updated, and we updated our social media on that website, and a map every 30 minutes of where they were. We got contacted by almost every single local news channel of where they went through on the highway. And then also the fire departments would contact, and there was a lot of working together to make sure that people knew where they were on time, because the fire departments would go and they would line the roads and the overpasses. To me, seeing all the interest and the support and everything else was absolutely amazing. It was awesome to see so many people, between funding to help get the steel and getting the steel and everybody turning out to support, how much of that there still is.
The memorial is going to go behind Firehouse number 3 in one of the city parks. By what I've seen so far, what it means to the city of Fort Collins is they're very proud of their emergency service personnel. Every time we get a disaster, the outpouring from the city is just overwhelming. And I think once we set this memorial in a permanent spot, it's some place where the city community can come and they can have closure.
What they encountered the whole way from New York all the way home was amazing. And then when we pulled into Station 4, the crowds that were there and just the cheers, and to bring a piece home to where it's going to be permanently placed was something I'll never forget.
This piece of steel represents not only the 343 brothers and sisters that got killed, but it represents all the other people that have perished. It's a piece of history, and it's a piece of memorialized statue that we'll never forget.
We are honored and humbled to introduce Brian Hansen, Chief Rick Vandervelde, Doug Lee, Jim Salisbury, Lynn Lindholm, Jimmy Jerkin, Jeff Gillespie, and Haley Spurrier of the Poudre Fire Authority. Today, the leader of the Fort Collins World Trade Steel Team and commander of the Poudre Fire Authority's Honor Guard, Brian Hansen, will deliver the firefighters' prayer.
When I am called to duty, God, wherever flames may race, give me the strength to save a life, whatever be its age. Help me embrace a little child before it's too late, or save some older person from the horror of that fate. Enable me to be alert and hear that weakest shout, and quickly and efficiently put the fire out. I want to feel my calling and to give the best in me, to guard my every neighbor and protect his property. And if according to our fate, I have to lose my life, please bless with your protecting hand my children and my wife.
Somebody give me an amen. Joining this group of incredibly brave men and women is this 3,100-pound remnant of the World Trade Center. It reminds us that life is precious and fleeting, and that we must never forget those first responders who gave their lives in service, and the Americans who lost their lives on 9/11.
Now we would like to take a moment of silence to reflect and remember all of the first responders who have died in the line of duty. no better way to conclude our salute. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you'd like to donate to the World Trade Center Steel Memorial Fund, go to nocofoundation.org. We all hope you enjoy your wonderful Labor Day. Thank you again.
Thank you.